Anthony, welcome to Behind the Mic. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. I can't complain. I appreciate you for having me.
No, thank you for being on. This time, I'm 4 episodes in, and I finally figured out where I put my mic, so now I'm actually behind it.
No, it's okay. You know it's okay if you use it, man. Most
Yeah,
people
I know, I
they
know.
try to set it off to the side, but if you want that perfect like sound and an audio, I just put it right under my chin, man.
Yeah, it works. It's also raining, so lightning might happen. I don't know, but let's
Ah.
get into it before lightning happens, I guess.
All right.
So, for those who don't know you, tell us about yourself.
Well, you know, me and you met through podcasting. So I'm known for podcasting. I host the show The Reality Is, and I run the Roberts Media Group company to where we just kind of help people get podcasting who have a passion for podcasting into podcasting, kind of teaching them the curb. But right now, we kind of are starting to pivot to more marketing, advertising, and media. But I mean, in a nutshell, we're just trying to get more voices out there, especially Black voices, to be able to tell their story.
Right. Now, you were on the very second episode of Just Talk with Gabe. So, what have
Yeah.
you been doing since then? I know that was like a year ago.
Man, trying to do like you, just building, continue to build on the momentum, trying to get better at the things that I feel like I can be better at. As far as we just started season 15 with The Reality Is.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. And right now we're really trying to work on a little short film documentary for The Reality Is. It's something that's been going on for about 3 years, but we've had some hiccups, but now we seemingly are back on track. So my focus is really just all about building content and media and not trying to chase that Instagram and social media fame, but just try to stay in your lane, which we both know that's difficult to do sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It is. Actually, being on UNRTC's show is what made me want to become a podcaster and everything.
Yeah.
So, how did you start that?
I was a late college bloomer, man. I got into radio. I went to University of Texas for broadcasting, media, and marketing. And honestly, it was just a course. I had to take a broadcasting course in communications. I started kind of working behind the microphone and running my own radio show. I kind of started feeling like Martin with WZUP, and I've always been told I have the gift of gab, but to be able to talk the way I want to talk to people I want to talk to and do interviews and choose who I want to talk to, I just kind of created a passion for it and started falling in love with it, man. And I just been going on, like I said, season 15 with the podcast and 8 years of doing this, and I'm still here, man.
Right. So after all these years, what is your favorite part about podcasting?
I think it's really just talking with people. You know what I'm saying? Because you get to learn who those people are. If you listen long enough, you actually learn something from those people. As you know, me and you've been knowing each other since we did the podcast, and congratulations to you, bro. Because during the pandemic, so we had about 10 or 12 podcasts, and 2 to 3 months, I would say, into the pandemic, we lost about 7 podcasters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but the thing about it is, I look at you, and I was thinking about it when I was coming on today. How old are you? What, 13, 14?
16, actually.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, look at you though, during the pandemic, I think most podcasters who didn't quit, they just learned to pivot. You know, you couldn't go into the studios. You couldn't, a lot of people didn't want to be around other people, but it's like, things like Zoom and everything became the platform that we had to use. So, I mean, that's pretty much it, man.
Right. So out of all the shows that you've done, is there one that like stuck with you that it was been like the most memorable?
Most memorable, and it wasn't even a success, but the reason it was the most memorable was I don't know if you know about the actor and the writer and the poet Saul Williams. He's been doing poetry for like 20 plus years, but I think in our first or second year of podcasting, he was someone I looked up to and kind of idolized because I used to do poetry. But we had him set for an interview. He was in London and the times got off, so we weren't able to actually do the interview. And I had literally created this whole platform and content for us to interview on. Yeah. And when we reached out to his agent, they was like, "Oh, he's not available. He's on stage right now." Even though it was a fail, I think the success and the reason I love it the most is because I didn't think anybody that big would want to talk to us in the beginning.
Right.
And the fact that he even scheduled the interview to do the interview with us, to me, it kind of was like, yo, you don't have to be a major, media machine or marketing machine for people to pay attention to you if you're consistent. And that kind of helped me create my new motto, which is consistency is what they don't see coming. If you stay consistent and keep doing what you're doing, bro, like everything will always pan out, man. And people will eventually see the product and the content that you're putting out.
Right. Yeah, that's good advice, man. But getting into a bit of fun questions.
Yeah.
Quarantine, pandemic, indoors all the time. Are there any shows that you've been binging since then?
You mean podcasting or just like Netflix and stuff like that?
Netflix and
Man, you know what? The last 2 weeks I've been watching Bosch. It's on Prime, but at the
Oh
beginning,
gosh.
have you know about it? Yeah,
Yeah, my mom and I know about it. She's a reporter every year.
yeah, it's a great detective show. It's not the same as the traditional shows. They kind of get into the meat of the detective work and behind the scenes. But outside of that, man, what else did I binge watch, man? I can't think off the top of my head. Marvel shows like Netflix, Daredevil, The Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and I hate that Netflix got rid of them, by the way. But
Dang,
yeah, man,
I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, they stopped like 2 years ago for whatever reason.
Huh. Right. What is the one thing that you would want people to know about you and why?
I'm intelligent. And the reason I say that is when people watch the podcast, I crack a lot of jokes. We talk about dating and relationships and a lot of other things. But I think a lot of people, when they come onto the show or when we do interviews elsewhere, a lot of people want to talk about the relationships. They want to talk about the things that make them laugh. But a lot of times I like to try to tell people, not only am I a person, but I have a brain in here, I have a love for stem cell research. I have a love for healthcare. I have a love for math, politics, but politics in a different way. But I just like to let people know that I am intelligent, more so than not saying it, but actually showing them. And that's something that I'm trying to work on implementing through conversation and dialogue in this season.
Right. It's good to know there's someone out there that actually enjoys math.
You like math?
No.
What's your favorite subject, man?
I mean, I like history. So.
But you know what? Honestly, they kind of go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? So, but history and history is a good thing to know. And I'm sure that your mom is teaching you, but because you're homeschooled, right?
Yeah, I'm homeschooled.
So that's perfect, man, because, they have this debate going on right now where the Constitution kind of wants them to glaze over or graze over some of the things that have happened in history. And I had a conversation not too long ago about, we know what history is in a Black household. It's crazy that we learn our real history in a Black household because you're not going to learn it at school. And no matter how much in this present time, we're showing people and telling people Christopher Columbus didn't discover this and Abraham Lincoln didn't really care about freeing the slaves. It was more about winning the war. Like, they still want to leave it in the history books, which is crazy. So big ups to you, man, for loving history, bro.
I know too much about history. Like, I just start going on and on and on and on and on. And my mom's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with having a passion for that kind of stuff, man. We need more people like that, bro.
Right. So if you could go back in time, would there be one thing that you would change, or would you leave it all the same?
I would say both, man. I would leave it all the same because of who I am today. I wouldn't be that without my past. But if I could change anything or had the power to change it, it would be my father being in my life. And I've talked about this a lot on the podcast because I think I'm a good man now, but there's so much knowledge that we can learn if we have fathers and parents in our lives. And with a father being in your life, I kind of look at it myself to where if I had a son, I'm 38 years old. My mindset is if I had a son, he should be where I'm at right now at 38 by the time he's 28. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and that's the only thing I would change is just having a father in my life to be able to, miss some of the pitfalls and dodge some of the brick walls that I ran into as a kid, which is why when I come in contact with people like you, like a little brother, it's like, bro, anytime you call me, if you wanted to do this interview at 2 a.m. in the morning, I'd figure out a way to do it because you know what I'm saying? I know what it means to you. And you always tell me what I mean to you. And I think that's important. And that's one of the things I would change is just having a father because it's that important, man.
All right. And then my final question is, you're doing all this stuff. What is next for you?
I actually just got off the phone. Shout out to Hello Zumbo and Jason Gray. Like I was telling you with the podcast, I really want to get into movies and media. Right now, I've been kind of working with him on, directing and trying to do scripts to kind of set things up. You know all about that. You've been doing this for a long time. So I really would like to get into creating scripts, directing movies, shooting more movies, and telling actual real stories, kind of like with the Reality Is podcast, not only talking about those things, but actually trying to bring those things to light. And I don't really even want to do it in Hollywood. Hollywood. I would prefer to take the Issa Rae route where you create your content, you put it out on YouTube or Patreon or whatever, and you create those things and those stories that you want to talk about and you want to put out there without a filter and without being blocked by, producers or the middleman of Hollywood.
Right. Well, man, congratulations on everything and good luck. Thank you for being on today.
Man, you about to leave? You can't go right now.
Yeah, it's a vignette, man.
Well, I need that. You got somebody else coming up?
No. It's a vignette, so we got to.
All right. Well, let me ask you a few questions before I get out of here, man.
First of all, man, of course.
Yeah, you said you're 16 now, right? So what would be something at your age that you would change right now or add or take away from your life? The same question you just asked me.
Man, gee, putting me on the spot. My own show, no less. Okay. All right. It's like what I would want to change, really. I don't think I would change anything. I think there's a few things here and there, like a few things that I think I could probably avoid having happen, but everything happens for a reason. So I wouldn't change a single thing.
Well, you've always been mature. I think how old was he when I met you? When I met them, Tiffany? I know your mom's listening in the background.
She listening, yeah.
16.
Oh my gosh, I think he was
9 or 10, maybe,
or maybe a little 10.
Yeah man. Well, let me gas you up a little bit, Gabe. You've been doing something for a long time, bro. And like I tell you all the time, when I see your interviews, I see the work behind it. I know you have your mom behind you and helping you. But Tiffany can attest to this. At your age, we change our minds as kids so much. So the fact that you have stuck with this long, bro, it's great. And big ups to your mom. I was talking to a guy the other day on social media, and he was like, the thing about not growing up in the streets and not selling drugs and not being in the hood is, he was like, you don't get the acknowledgement from society for reforming yourself and becoming a better person. And I told him, I said, you know what? I can appreciate you if you've never sold drugs, if you've never done anything negative, if you've never been to jail, because as Black men, CNN tells us, like Pusha T says, we're supposed to be dead by 21. You've never sold drugs, I'm sure, because Tiffany takes care of that. You've never been in too many fights. You know what I'm saying? You've never done all these things that they say Black men are supposed to be, bro. So salute to you. Salute to you for staying on path. I tell you all the time, man, if there's anything I can do for you, if you ever want to talk about anything, I'm here for you, bro. You can look at me like a brother. You can look at me like an uncle. Whatever you need me to do, bro, just like I said, I wish I had a father in my life. Whatever you need from me, man, you can ask me at any time. And I hope that I've proven to you that I will keep my word, bro.
You do.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Man, this was quick, man. 20 minutes flew by like crazy.